Alrighty then! White Rabbit, Rabid Rabbi, he's loose in the garden. Look out! Oh no! All right, here we go. All right, yeah. No, we're gonna eat some revelation. We got into what was it? Revelation 1 through 3, and we got 4 now. I'm gonna give you a little bit different image of that throne room. It's I don't know. I think we've been kind of eating the same thing over and over and over again, right? It's like, come on, time for something new. Let's make it happen. And I think you'll like what I've come up with here. We've actually looked at the tied into the. Hang on, I'm pulling up my notes. Yeah, there's stones that actually appear. Okay, and there is you can see there's maybe some hidden meaning in there with regards to the even in the order that they're in, right? So let me just go ahead and read it. And thanks for coming down. Did I leave you in the dark? Oh man, yeah, means I have to put clothes on. All right, so how you guys doing? I'm all right. It's is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and in a few seconds it'll be 12:12. And 5:20. I love numbers. They're everywhere. Oh, just when I said that, that was my mom's birth month and year, 229. Yeah, it's a matrix to me, right? But yeah, let me take a look at the text real quick. And like I said, so this is I'm going to read this out of the NIV, so it'll be kinder to us. Hey, thanks guys. How you doing? I'm just getting going here. I'm going to do a study on Revelation 4. So, kind of as I said before, when you see these subtitles, maybe. This one I don't disagree with, but when you see some of my other commentaries, you can see how I can take those titles and, grab them by the throat and ring them a few times. But so this is Revelation 4. After I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven. Okay. Now, again, we got to look at every single thing. Hey, what's up, Zay? We got to look at every single thing and every single word and see if we can tie it to something else, right? When you see a door, I mean, it just seems flippant, right? A door standing open. Every single word in here is it counts for something, right? He's seeing like a door, but who was the door, right? And it's standing and it's open. It's like waiting there, right? And then again, and he adds to it, and the voice I had heard speaking to me like a trumpet said, "Come up here." Now remember, that was behind him before. And who's supposed to be behind you, right? And so he says, and I will show you what must take place after this. So at once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby. So if we look at these two stones, there's actually, if you've ever seen the breastplate, the ephod that the priests wear, well, each of those stones represent the tribes, okay? And they have a certain order. Um, it's it'd be Benjamin, or I'm not Benjamin. Uh, that's bad. Uh, Reuben, Reuben, Simeon, and Levi, and they each actually have their own stone, right? But if you read this, you'll see that, and the one who sat there had the appearance of, and then he mentions jasper and ruby, and then the next one is a rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. So he's got two things on the throne, right? So let's take a look at jasper and ruby. So if you look at jasper, that was actually Simeon's stone, okay? And and remember, I watch the names in here. Simeon means he has heard, okay? And ruby, which was for the tribe of, was it Reuben or Benjamin? Who was the first? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Did I say Benjamin? Wow, man, sorry. Did that even make it all into my notes and everything? Oh, wow, I did. You know what it is? I just want to get there, man. Go, Benjamin, sons of the right hand, all of us. All right, so, but that's what this is. So sorry. Oh man, that's terrible. Um, anyway, so Simeon means he has heard, and that's jasper, and then and ruby, right? And these are together, and that is Reuben, which means behold, a son. So, and then surrounding the throne is an emerald, which is the other stone, but that one belongs to Levi. And remember, I've always said that Levi is one side of the law, and Leviathan is like the chaos side of the law. Well, I found out that Levi means joined, so it would be like one, right? And then the many chaos on the other side. But and I just feel that this is referring to joining of everything. Like, I mean, what are we talking about, or what are we shooting for, right? We want utopia. We want, I mean, I don't know what you want, but I want peace in the Middle East, number one. I would want all the tribes, all the grandsons of Abraham, all them guys, the whole bunch of them. Hey, we're a family. What are we fighting over? We're all coming from the same spot. You know, the women that caused all the trouble are already gone. So the only thing to do is like just suck it up and stop fighting. But this is an image of that all coming together, right? So and and you can see, if you remember the name Simeon, okay, this is the Jacob's son that when Dinah was, they had the problems there. Uh, when it went crazy, and then he literally used, I mean, that's wicked, okay? I gotta wet the whistle, and of course more hairs falling out. They're everywhere. Um, yeah, Simeon, he wound up, causing a lot of trouble over that because of what he did. I mean, I'm not saying, he couldn't have did revenge, but you don't go trying to make a covenant with somebody and then use it against them like that. That's wicked, right? Uh, yeah, that was that wasn't good. And that led to Jacob condemning Simeon and all his descendants to what? To be scattered. So, this seems kind of like hopelessly tied to the name joined, So I don't know how you feel about it, but at the same time, as this scene starts to unfold with these names that we're going to see, there's also another route that you could consider here, because Again, and if we're looking at utopia now, we have to include all of Abraham's kids, right? Everybody. So including Ishmael. So who's missing? And what does Ishmael's name mean? It means he will hear, or God will hear. So what's the very first name that we see? It's Simeon, and it means he has heard. So it's kind of like almost an answer to that, right? And then it says, behold, a son, and then united. And remember the prodigal son and all that stuff. And I mean, there's so many ways that you can use these scriptures to tie everything together. It's no wonders that we're fighting over it and coming up with ways to, separate ourselves instead of join ourselves, right? So, and then from there, if we had 12 and 12 together, well, now you got your 24. So we'll head out and read it. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. And literally, that's emerald is for the tribe of Levi, and that means joined. Um, Surrounding the throne were 24 other thrones. Okay, so that's like, I don't know, if Abraham was on the throne or whatever, or however you wanted to picture it, God's throne room, those are like all 24 tribes, if you wanted to look at it that way. When I look at it, I see it as like a command center. Okay. Uh, I see angels, right? So it's like you could take this to at an earthly way to just organize and everybody get together. This was Jesus' vision, and a lot, like I said, a lot of this revolves around you have to change all this stuff that people believe that they see or don't see in the New Testament. I mean, first off, we're waiting for the Son of Man to come. It's like, go look in the mirror. Same place the Antichrist is, same guy. Pick which father you're going to serve. But surrounding the throne were 24 other thrones, and seated on them were 24 elders. They were dressed in white and had crowns of gold on their heads. From the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder. Now, when I think of the throne of God, I mean, even when I see the Bible and it's the Word, to me, it's all complete. It has its purpose and it can totally serve its purpose and effectively. But so when people like, I mean, I just imagine that somebody could go there, and if they were able to actually perfectly write down everything as it was actually happening, that it would translate just like that. Um, really didn't sound very helpful, did it? um, it's like a way to envision, like like me when I see a computer program, right? I look at all the stuff at how it connects to everything, and you got, you make a can or a module over here. It's got to do something, and then you generate some parts of your program over here, and but you can if you can when you can see how the whole thing works, you can have these kind of visions like that, like Ezekiel with the wheels, right? Wheels with wheels inside. It's like we can actually go and move, and what's inside of us? The spirit, the wheels. So it's like almost like in a I am that I am fashion. But as soon as you start to take the kingdom and throw it out to somewhere else, and later, well, I don't know. Then it's almost sad. It's like, I mean, what are you waiting to die for or something, right? It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to hang around this place if it wasn't a point to try and make it like where we're supposed to be, right? But from the throne came flashes of lightning. Now, to me, that is judgment. Okay. Rumblings are like warnings. Okay. And maybe even guidance. And then peals of thunder like stern warnings, right? In front of the throne, 7 lamps were blazing. Um, 1 second. Sorry. So from the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder. In front of the throne, 7 lamps were blazing. Okay? And these are the 7 spirits of God. You'll actually see, now they're saying the 7 spirits of God, but in, I believe it's Isaiah 11. Yeah, in Isaiah 11 it says, the Spirit of the Lord will rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, counsel and might, knowledge and fear. And then it, knowledge and fear of the Lord. So there's your 7, but then it says, and the fear of the Lord will be his delight, right? Look at those. You've got 7. You can divide those into sets of 3. You can come up with 3.5. Trust me. My clock's striking 12. Remember, everything's divided in half. Everything. So watch how these spirits are divided. First, let me show you how they connect. The very last spirit is fear of the Lord. What's the first one? The Spirit of the Lord. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the ones that make it like bookends. This is where Jesus was trying to say we don't have a spirit of fear, right? It's courage, not fear. But watch how they split. Spirit of wisdom and understanding. Can you divide those two? Like how they're completely different? What is wisdom? Wisdom is anything. You could read wisdom without actually having to do a single thing. You are just like at rest. If God could download perfect wisdom to you, you would have it. But would you understand it? The only way you can understand something is when you've experienced it by works. You have to take from the tree, for instance. So you've got just like a God side and then a works side, right? The spirit of what? Counsel. That's literally just saying, I'm going to listen. What's the other one? Counsel of might. I can do all things through him who strengthens me, right? Spirit of knowledge. Again, same thing, except what? And fear of the Lord. Knowledge. What did Jesus say? They perish for lack of knowledge. Well, what happens if you don't have that? You wind up with fear of the Lord. But what does it say? His delight is in the fear of the Lord, which seems like a bad thing, because how do you get the fear of the Lord? You get it from screwing up. But that's what's special about me. I know that you will stumble your way all the way into heaven, no matter what. He just beats the hell out of us the whole way there. What's up, Jason? Do I chew my food? No, I drink it mostly. But that's it. And those are really, you got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you got the 2 caps on the end for 7, because both of those are Spirit of the Lord, fear of the Lord. But anyway, so back to Revelation 4. Surrounding the throne were 24 other thrones, and seated on them were 24 elders. They were dressed in white and had crowns of gold on their head. From the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder. In front of the thrones, 7 lamps were blazing. These are the 7 spirits of God. Also in front of the throne, there was what looked like a sea of glass, clear as crystal. Now, typically when you see a sea, I mean, uh, is it to imagine looking up at the sky and God can see us from there, right? Could it mean that he looks upon us and can pierce your every, your every thought? He knows you so clearly that the entire sea of everything, that throne is just like knows what that, all those eyes, like in those wheels, just everything is accounted for and watched. Every little screw up, it winds up going somewhere, and as does every blessing, right? Um, and then it says, in the center around the throne were 4 living creatures, and they were covered with eyes. Again, here we go, eyes in front and in back. And so it's like, it's literally, that's why it's described as a path and highways and things like that. Okay. Um, the first living creature was like a lion. The second was like an ox. The third had a face like a man. And the fourth was like a flying eagle. So these are a progression of stages, or different, almost like different spirits. Uh, Lion, ox, face like a man, and then eagle, which is obviously representing attaining ability to fly, maybe, right? Each of the 4 living creatures had 6 wings and was covered with eyes all around, even under its wings. Day and night they never stopped saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. And this is like a statement of truth right here. Who was, is, and is to come. It's never changing and always there. The 4 living creatures, they cover their, does it say they cover their feet? I think somewhere down here it does, but they have 6 wings, and I think they cover their faces and their feet, and then the other ones they fly, right? And day and night they never stop saying. It's, some people would just see that and think that it means just all the time. It's really, during the day and night is different. It's like some things are made during the day, some things are made during the night, and that's the Lord is working at all times. Sometimes through spirits, uh, always through spirit. I'm just saying sometimes through, evil spirits if it's necessary. Fortunately, that happens sometimes. Whenever the living creatures give glory, honor, and thanks to him who sits on the throne and who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him who sits on the throne and worship him who lives forever and ever. So this is just like a complete state of unity. They lay their crowns before the throne and say, You are worthy, our Lord and God, to receive glory, honor, and power. For you created all things, and by your will they were created and have their being. And, it bothers me to see that word created there. But see, this is written in the... this was in Greek as far as we know at first, right? So I have to I got to be fair in that way. But let me jump over here, and let me see if I can find something. Let's go in. Let me go into the. Let's go here. Let me take a look at that word in the Greek and see what they use for that. So the word for door. After this, I looked, and behold, a door was open in heaven. That's Strong's 2374. Thora. Apparently, a root word. Translates as door. And what did I say? Jesus. So it translates as door and gate once. It is the vestibule used of any opening like a door, an entrance way, a passage into something, in a parable or metaphor. The door through which the sheep go in and out, the name of him who brings salvation to those who follow his guidance. Okay, an open door. So, and what was the other one we want to see? We want to see. It's funny that in remember I said jasper and ruby? Well, ruby in the King James is called a sardine stone. You know, talking about being fishers of men and everything, right? I better keep on track, or I'm gonna. Let's see, what was the other one we were looking for? Created. Created. Oh, actually, well, 29, 30, yeah, same one. So, why does it say that? Boy, I hate when it says stuff like that. It says, probably like 2932. Probably akin to 2932. It's like, okay. Through the idea of proprietor, ship of the manufacturer. Like, so naval stuff? All right. Translates as create 12 times, creator once, and make once. To make habitable, to people, a place, a region, island, of God creating the worlds, to form and shape, completely change or transform. Yeah, completely change or transform. Boy, there's nothing like destroying something and pounding it to rubble. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are created. And I mean that, but that's the bottom line: is you really have to consider those words, right? Created and made are not the same thing. It could turn out bad, but yeah. So that's about it, man. Why it's not right, man. Let me see. How about Revelation 5? Yeah. What do we got? Yeah, I'm gonna knock this one off. We'll keep it for about 30 minutes, and that way, if anybody, I don't keep people like hanging around, spinning around for hours and hours watching videos. I'd like to do some other stuff too. Good night, guys. Shalom, shalom.